Hello everybody, it's Kai again, and today is my 7th speech. I made an accident on Wednesday when I recorded what was supposed to be my 6th speech, but I accidentally called it my 7th. I apologize for the mix-up. I did correct the title, and thank you to my little sister Abby for pointing that out to me. And, well, anyway, today is the actual 7th speech for the Ron Paul's public speaking curriculum, and my assignment was to do research and stuff for a particular subject. And the one that they suggested that I do was look up animal and look up little facts and trivia and stuff on that. So I decided to do the common house sparrow, because I thought it would be easiest to look up stuff about that since they're such a common bird. It's so hard to not find a place that has a sparrow, some sort of subspecies of sparrow in it. Because I remember growing up in Arizona, there's a tree in our front yard that we actually ended up cutting down and getting rid of before we moved out. And a bunch of sparrows would like to hang out in that nest, and like even now where I live here in Asia, there's like a bunch of sparrows in the trees as we're driving to go to the mall or to church or something, and there's just a bunch of sparrows everywhere. It's so hard to escape them. But like these birds are ridiculously small though. Like they weigh, like the smallest bird weighs up to 12 grams, and that is less than a compact disc or a CD. And that blew my mind when I was researching that. Now, it really is ridiculous, and the biggest that a sparrow can be is 40 grams, and I don't exactly know how heavy that would be, but I just say roughly 4 compact discs. And since they're so small, that means that they can fly really, really fast. They have been clocked up to like 46 kilometers an hour, which, if I look at my notes, which is actually 28.5 miles per hour, and if they're afraid, like if a predator like a fox or a bigger bird is chasing them, it can be clocked up to 31 miles per hour, which I can say is pretty impressive for a small bird. And like generally, like, yeah, they're fast, they're cool, and just sparrows are generally appealing to me for personal reasons. And another cool thing that I didn't actually know is that you can identify the bird by the color of their backs, and I did not know that you could do that. I just thought it was because it was a different species or something. Way to go, Kai. You separate sparrows by that. And anyway, the males usually tend to have black heads, I guess, black feathers on their head, and reddish brown backs, and the women, like the female birds, have brown backs with small stripes on them, which I think is really cool. Next time I get really close to a sparrow, I'll look at that and I'll be able to tell. And actually, sparrows have evolved. When they first started showing up, they're carnivorous, strictly eating worms and small moths and small insects like that. But since they've started like hanging out in more populated urban areas, such as big cities, they have also kind of become omnivorous now, where they will eat seeds and berries and like fruit, and pretty much they'll eat anything at this point. They've become omnivorous, which honestly I also think is kind of interesting, because I didn't know that they just started as strictly carnivore. And like the sparrows are kind of like not exactly a bird of commitment when I was looking this up, because the website I was looking it up on, I'll link it in the description. This video is actually talking about how it's like they're not usually carnivorous, but they are, and then it's like, oh, well, they don't usually mate for life, but some of them do. But yeah, that is actually something where the male and the female will actually end up mothering or parenting different broods of the hatchlings, I guess. And these eggs are actually really cool. I looked up the pictures of the eggs. They usually have 3 to 5 eggs, and they're really small. They're like that big. They're like the size of my eyeball, and I have kind of a small eye. And they are whitish, like they're whitish blue. They kind of look like robin's eggs, if you know what those look like. And they have like brown flecks on them, and they're usually a lot more prominent towards the end of the egg, at like the very tip or the wide end at the bottom, or it's kind of like that. But seriously, like they're really pretty looking eggs. I suggest you go look up pictures of them. They're really cute. And also, sparrows tend to be relatively chubby, although there are some quote-unquote leaner sparrows. And when I read that they were kind of, like they usually get kind of fat, all the more impressed me when I figured out how fast they could go. Just, the sparrow really impressed me. They're really cool little birds. And that's pretty much all I have to say about those little social birds that we see everywhere we go. They're like the spies of the animal kingdom. And this is my last speech for probably a month, because I'm going to be going on a lot of vacations and trips and whatever, family stuff. You guys should know how that goes. And so I'll be back to you in, say, April, like sometime around April. And anyway, that's all I have to say. Signing off. See you guys later, and bye.